Fire Kings. Alright, so 3 Fire King decks have topped in the last 2 weeks. It's neither here nor there. It's not a relevant trend. The thing is, players are starting to realize that the deck is a lot better than it's been given credit for. Now, Fire Kings in the long run could actually become a trouble deck. Just keep in mind, macro Defisher, Soul Drain, all at 1. And yes, you might have 1 or 2 copies of Best Dweller. You only have effectively 4 outs to an entire deck. And in my opinion, those aren't very strong odds. Yes, Banish of the Radiance is a thing, but looking at what Fire Kings do, Fire Kings, Garunix wreck you. Oh look, Sacred Phoenix wreck you. There are also very many different builds. There's the Earthbound Immortal build, which nuke your board at will because of Yugioh. You have Sacred Phoenix to nuke back row. And to top things off, you have the Infinite Recursion, that is Garunix, which is built into every version of the deck. Now, why am I complaining about Fire Kings? A deck such as Fire Kings that have just general revival, I consider bad for the game. Talking to a lot of other players near the beginning of the format, they were considering Fire Kings a #1 threat. Now, a lot of players were citing for Thunder Kings. They were citing for Fire Kings because they were like, oh, this is going to be such a matchup. Then the deck just kind of went to the wayside and kind of just got capsized. Now, that's neither here nor there. We all know what the deck is capable of. But if the deck actually becomes more mainstream, you're going to see a lot more anti-meta things like Fossil Dyna to try to stop Fire Kings. But my general complaint is Fire Kings are generally bad for the game just because of the recursion loop, and there's not really much of a way to stop that. And the deck has the ability to just pull out stuff from its own toolbox. So, what I wanted to ask you guys is, do you think the trend of Fire Kings now is a slight isolation, just because the deck has a really decent matchup against everything else in the format? Or do you think the deck could actually become troublesome in the near future? And if it does, do you think other decks in the format could actually keep up with it? You know, cutting out Dragon Rulers from the equation, same thing. I assume spellbooks are going to get destroyed in some way, shape, or form, and maybe Evil Swarm and whatnot. Do you think that deck is going to be troublesome? I know Evil Swarm is the #1 stop. You put Ophion on the board turn 1. Spellbooks have Fate to check it, but for some reason the deck is still showing its ugly head everywhere. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think? Do you think things could get really bad with Fire Kings, or do you think it's just a very minuscule deck and I'm worried for nothing? So leave a comment down below, guys. Tell me what you guys think, and I'm out.